I'm Bryan. I'm a retired police officer. I did 30 years law enforcement. I love travel. I love cruising. I've made cruising my part-time job after I retired. So I own some travel agencies and I enjoy travel. I've been to European countries, Asia, Russia. Part of my travel entails me on the airplane, trying to sit in an airplane small seat for extended periods of time. That became increasingly more difficult.
Bryan's back pain began after a work injury 30 years ago.
I injured my back in '91 on a bad incident at work. I got involved in a situation where this guy was trying to commit suicide. So 3 of us tackled him, and a pile of deputies, and this guy ended up on top of me in this guy's driveway as we're struggling with him. So days later, I was unable to walk, couldn't roll out of bed. So in that case, I was on crutches. It took me about 7 months to get surgery after that injury. It was a lot of evaluations, a lot of MRIs. I was actually out of work almost 9 months.
Since his surgery in 1991, he experienced minor back problems on and off. He resolved these issues with rest and over-the-counter medications, until another incident in October 2020 left him with the realization his pain was going to require surgical intervention.
Well, I was on the boat, and we had the dogs with us, and one of the dogs was in the water, and it was a pontoon boat which sits above the water's level, probably about 2 feet. And I would reach down below my legs into the water to pick him up. He's about 110 pounds. And when as soon as I did it, I felt my back like pop or painful just surge. And right then I knew, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But the dog was happy. Got him back in the boat, and I sat down for a while, and then a day or two later, I had increasingly more and more pain. It just wasn't going away. Pains were radiating down my right side. I started in my thigh, and then it worked into past my knee into my calf. And then eventually, weeks or 2 later, it was actually my ankle and foot. I found that I didn't have the ability to walk in the store, that I'd have to hang onto the grocery cart. My stamina was just zilch anymore. As far as walking to the car, I'd have to hold on to something. I found relief by using a cane. And a cane wasn't for every step, it was more just for stability, just to hang on to and stop and wait for a second before I could continue.
In late December, Bryan met with a surgeon, and they told him he needed a fusion.
The pain management group initially gave me pain medication. They upped it. I called the next day. I said, this is not working. They upped it again. From there, they gave me 2 epidurals procedures, which I had a minimal relief, but the pains came back again. And the next thing I know, I was sitting down in front of a surgeon. He had my MRI on the screen, and he started explaining to me where he was going to put pins and rods on the following Tuesday. I said, time out. This is not for me. I know what it entails. I know that it creates stiffness in that region of the back, and then it long-term effects. It's going to put extra pressure on the rest of the joints, and it's not for me. It's not for me. It's not for my lifestyle. It's not something that I'm willing at my age to submit to. So I said, no, that's not going to happen. I'll continue with the pain meds and seek other treatment.
He continued to search online, where he discovered the Bonati Spine Institute.
Initially, I just did an interview with a patient consultant that requested all my paperwork and the MRI to be sent over for a doctor's review. And then a doctor called me a week or 2 later. And the doctor spoke to me, and the first thing he said, no, we don't believe in pins and rods. We want to go in as minimally invasive as possible. And they started explaining the surgery and how it would be, and that they've reviewed my MRI, and they were quite confident they'd be able to help me. As soon as he said no pins and needles, I was on board. Came in, sat down with a practitioner, and they measured everything. They discovered then that one leg was smaller than the other, checked all my reflexes, did the blood tests, did the MRI, did the x-rays, all within a 3-hour window. And before I left there, I had a surgery date 1 week later. Come back the following Tuesday. So to me, it just simplified the process, having everything there at the same campus. The MRI was up on the wall, and you could see that the bulges, 4 in a row that were all, and the 2 at the bottom were greatly impacting the spinal cord. And it's no wonder I was in pain. And he says, I can make you pain free. It's going to take 2, maybe 3 procedures, but we can make this happen. Just go for it. I'm ready to go. By then, I'm looking at 3 months of pain already. I'm ready to get it resolved.
Surgery at the Bonati Spine Institute is performed using conscious IV sedation, a technique that allows surgical guests to remain aware and alert enough to speak with the staff during their procedure, all while staying calm and comfortable.
First procedure, they brought me in and reassured me that everything was on target. I could see it on screen video to my right, and I could actually feel them snipping the bone. It's like they were like a nail clipper on the bones. And then they were asking me, they were testing pain thresholds, and they were asking me, did I feel it in my back versus my leg versus my ankle, where I was feeling each pain, where it was radiating to. And based on my analysis and what I was telling them, they were able to identify where the problems were. Right after the second surgery, I remember my posture improved. My body was relaxed instead of stressing or preparing yourself for pain. My walk was more steady, and my total gait was different.
Bryan compares his surgery from 1991 to the Bonati spine procedures in 2021.
In my case, I can compare it to the other surgery in 91. The recovery time was much quicker. I was on my feet within hours. There was no hospital stay. I went a period of 2 weeks with no pain medication whatsoever. And whereas before the other surgery, I was still on pills daily, trying to wean off of them over a period of time. In this case, it was none. I felt very good. I felt more mobile. And the support from the Bonati team, that they checked on you that night, they checked on you the next morning, you were back in the office immediately. Whereas before, you get a checkup with the doctor 10 days down the road. It just felt a lot more relaxing and less stressful.
Now that Bryan's been treated for his lumbar spine issues, he is finally looking forward to more adventurous travel experiences.
Life is resumed. I got a new home. I moved here, and you've got so many projects to do, whether it's hanging the TVs on the wall or getting things together, organized, emptying the boxes, getting organized. And dealing and fun with the dogs, and being able to mix and mingle with friends, and not being so many excuses you come up with. I can't go today. You can't plan ahead because you don't know what you're going to feel like next Tuesday. Are you going to be in a good mood, or are you going to be grumpy because you're in a lot of pain? And my friends have noticed, like, wow, you can walk again. Wow, you can tell you're feeling much better. I could tell you were in a lot of pain last time I saw you. So it's really good to be able to refresh with those people and have your life back. Be back in some normalcy. The one thing that stood out with Bonati was having the one-on-one contact with the doctor. It wasn't just, you're going to have a procedure next Tuesday and Dr. So-and-so will be doing it. He was there in front of me, standing in front of my MRI, and was quick to say, hey, this is what we're going to be able to do for you. I think that the support before, during, and after is unheard of. It's just unexpected. And with that support and what we're going through on our end, it really helps. That's every 2 weeks I get a phone call. How's everything going? How you feeling? Do you need anything? And that helps a lot. Don't delay. Go out there, get it done. It's an easy procedure. It sounds scary, but it's all part of the process. And you get it done, and you'll get your life back. You'll be back on your feet.
To see more stories of recovery just like this, search for the Bonati Spine Institute on Roku, Google Play Store, Apple's App Store, and Amazon Fire TV.